Good day, everyone. I would like to greet you all a wonderful and blessed day. Before I start to discuss our research paper, I would like to thank first my members for participation and cooperations, especially our beloved professor, Ms. Lizelle Abuzo. So here is our topic entitled Factors Affecting the Academic Status of Second-Year Students of Information Technology in ISU Kawayan City Campus. Rationale and Introduction. Academic status is a measure of a student's academic achievement. It displays a student's grades and achievement in school. Nowadays, students' academic performance at most universities has been a subject of research. Tiley DDS 2008. It has risen to the top of priority list for educators who have pledged to make a difference locally, regionally, nationally, and internationally. Educators, trainers, and researchers have long interested in identifying characteristics that have a major impact of learners' performance. These variables are both external and internal. Parok MS Chandri AH Shatif M. FL 2011. Internal factors are mostly student-related while external factors contributed to the external environment of students that are beyond their control. According to Lundu 2013 and Fasufeya and Cardona 2013, the family socioeconomic situation and academic achievement are two of the most important factors that affect college students' defections. Several studies have sought to determine the factors that influence full-time students' academic achievement. One of the characteristics that has been researched as a predictor in college academic achievement is high school performance. Working while in college is an interesting variable that affects academic achievements, but is not as well studied as the variable outlined in the preceding paragraphs. According to Astin 1993, there is a negative correlation between academic achievements and work, whether full-time or part-time. We stated that working hours produce students' participation in campus activities. The majority of research, however, have found that paid job has a non-linear impact of academic achievement. As a result, there is a working hour barrier that must be met when the number of hours spent working exceeds that levels students' academic performance suffers. The internet is used by students for two purposes. First is emailing, forum discussion, chatting, and online shopping, particularly on auctions platforms, are examples of interactive asynchronous activities. Second is surfing the web, downloading programs and videos, and playing games are examples of non-interactive activities. Fadil Azim, Mazzam, and Abdul Rahman, 2010. Users, particularly younger and teens, have responded favorably to computer games. Ferim and Dugan, 2015. In terms of financial status, working students, and online games, this study described the factors affecting the academic status of the students in information technology at ISU Kawayan City Campus. This study will show the factors that really affect the academic status of students and how to help them be more focused on school. The study demonstrates how the students will become aware of the obstacles to their academic standing and the need for the school to take action implementing flexible learning for students so that they can focus on their studies.
Statement of the problems. This study aimed to determine the factors that affect the academic performance of the second-year students of Information Technology of Cagayan City Campus. It sought to answer the following question. 1. What is the profile of the respondents in terms of age, gender, year level? 2. What are the factors affecting the academic status of the respondents in terms of financial status, working students, online games? 3. In terms in significance relationship between the profile and the factors affecting the academic status of the respondent.
Significance of the study. The result that we'll find in this study will help the following and will surely impart new knowledge that will eventually use for future purposes. Students. The information provided in this study will help the student be aware on the factors affecting their studies. Teachers. The findings of this research study will provide teachers to have a knowledge and formulate mechanism in teaching their students more efficiently. School. The study will help the school in providing effective teaching technique for the students. Researchers. The main idea of this study is to give extensive range the researcher about the factor affecting the studies of the student. Future researchers. The presented idea in this study may be used by the future researchers in the study they will conduct. The information will be a great help for an additional knowledge and reference for their study. We all know that money affects their academic status, so we, the researchers, will find results in our study that will help and will surely communicate new knowledge that they will be used for the future purposes. Scope and delimitation. This research study limited to the second-year BSIT students of Isabela State University, Cagayan City. The private schools were not included because they would not be fit to share confidential information. However, every effort was made to ensure that sampling used was acceptable to collect information required for the drawing conclusions. The second-year BSIT students preferred by the researcher as the main respondents because they were the direct consumers of the researcher's concern. Our study considers every aspect of a student's personal information that has an impact to their academic status or academic performance. This study will mainly identify the factors that may affect the studies of the second-year BSIT students of ISU Cagayan, and also to assess different academic issues that they are currently facing off.
Here are the 5 review of related literature that will support our research paper. Bibliography. This study is authored by Alshamari L, Alshamari F, Astedolo E, Sagunban R, and Atevan A 2017, entitled Factors Affecting the Academic Performance of Student Nurses, a cross-sectional study, Journal of Nursing Education and Practice. Major objectives. This study aimed to determine the factors that affect the academic performance of the student nurses at the University of Hail Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, KSA. Delineated factors. Academic performance, student-related factors, home-related factors, school-related factors, and teacher-related factor. Methods. This study employed a quantitative correlation design. Major findings. Findings indicate that all the factors student, school, home, and teacher have an extensive effect on the academic performance of the student respondents. Results further revealed that among the 4 given factors, teachers-related factors have the greatest impact of the academic performance as indicated by the mean value of 4.16. This further indicates the respondents felt that teaching strategies, student-teacher relationship, and communication barrier hinder their academic performance. The recommendations. Students need to see that their teacher care about them in the classroom. The clinical settings including off-campus, when conflicts and protractions arise for both students and teachers alike. They need to understand that those conflicts are part of any health relationship and should be worked on to enrich the students' teachers' relationships. Bibliography. This study unauthored by Ali Shokat, Subir, Haider, Hamid Khan, and Alwis Ahmed, entitled Factors Contributing to the Student Academic Performance, a case study of Islamia University Subcampus, American Journal of Educational Research. Major objectives. The present research study was designed to investigate the factors affecting academic performance of graduate students of Islamia University of Bahawalpur Rahim, Yarkand campus. Delineated factors: academic performance, public sector, school, education's, medium instructions. Methods: simple random sampling technique was employed in the selecting the sample from the target population. Major findings. The findings revealed that age, father, guardian, social-economic status, and daily studied hours significantly contribute to the academic performance of graduate students. A linear model was also proposed that will be helpful to improve the academic performance of graduate students at university level. The recommendation: because this study only for Islamia University of Bahawalpur Rahim, Yarkand campus. Therefore, its results may or may not be internal valid. We recommended that this study should be conducted at a wide level of Pakistan so that its result became valid for whole country. Bibliography. This study is authored by Hall Christiana M. 2020. The impact of family engagement of student achievements. Network, an online journal for teacher research. Major objectives. This action research study explores the impact of family engagement on student achievement using 3 family, student, and peers. The related factors: family involvement, family engagement, writing, student feedback. Methods. The researcher-teacher began by tackling question 1. To determine if question 1 had been met, families were given a pre-survey. This survey gave information that allowed for guidance of their understanding of the students' work inside the classroom. At the end of this research, a post-survey was given that was similar but asked for more information than the pre-survey to determine if their attitude regarding the classroom had changed, stayed the same, or grew to be more positive, as well as the outlook on student academics. Major findings. This research had many useful results and findings. First, this research supports the notion that families want to be involved. When families are engaged using simple, accessible methods, this allows them to see their students' growth and family engagement increases. Students are aware of their families' involvement in their learning and want to their families' input. Family involvement is incredibly motivating for students and encourages a harder and work ethic and buy-in for students. Recommendation: future research is required to help determine if this kind of family involvement will make the same impact class-wide. In this research, only 3 families volunteered to participate in this study, leaving the teacher-researcher with questions in who class of the families were to buy into this family involvement process. The question for future research are: what are the impact of academics when the families respond daily to student work? What are the impact on the academics in a classroom when every family is participating in responding to student work? What are the impact school-wide when using one communication system for families? What are the impacts for students with behavioral issues when they share their academics daily with their families? Bibliography: this study is authored by Yazizi, CNN, Concazis H. 2021. The relationship between problematic online game usage, depression, and life satisfaction among university students, educational process, International Journal, Fen 1, 27-45. Major objectives: in this study, the relationship between problematic online game usage and depression and life satisfaction levels of university students was examined. The related factors: problematic online game usage, depressions, life satisfaction, university students. Methods: the research was conducted according to the relational screening model with a sample consisting of the 401 university students. The research data were obtained using the Beck Depression Inventory. The problematic online game use scale, the contentment with life assessment scale, and a personal information form prepared by the researchers. The data obtained were analyzed using Pearson correlations analysis, independent sample, t-test, and one-way analysis of variance. ANOVA. Major findings: the results of the study show the relationship between students' use of problematic online games and their depression levels to be moderately positive and revealed a low level negative relationship between life satisfaction levels. In addition, students' problematic online game use, depression, and life satisfaction levels were analyzed according to the variables of gender and grade level, and statistically significant differences were found to exist between them. The recommendation: the current study offers certain recommendations for practitioners and other researchers in light of the results obtained from the research, which are as follows. The sample of the current study consisted of university students with an average age of 21 to 50 years. Considering the high numbers of children and adolescents who use online games, it is recommended that this research is repeated for children and adolescents. With the rapid ongoing development in technology, it is inevitable that there are differences in the online gaming world. Therefore, it is recommended to approach and examine these differences as part of the longitudinal study of a number of years according to the variables used in the current study. In the current research, a significant relationship was found to exist between the scores of the problematic online game use scale, back depression, inventory, and contentment with life assessment scale. However, the relationship between euphoria, health problems, conflict, loss of control, and preference for virtual relationship, depress, and life satisfaction, which are dimensions of the problematic online game use scale, were not examined, but would be recommended to be examined in future studies. Bibliography. This study authored by Agurlu, U. Karaman, S. and Kayaop, A. 2021, entitled Computer Game Addiction in Gifted Students and Non-Gifted Children, a Quotient for Technology-Oriented STEM Activities, Journal of Education in Science, Environment, and Health, Jesse 7th Fu. Major objectives. The aim of this research was to examine computer game addiction level in gifted students in comparison with addiction levels in non-gifted students. Delineated factors: addiction, children, computer games, and gifted students. Methods. This research was a correlational study using ANCOVA to compare gifted and non-gifted samples, and the multiple regressions was conducted to determine predictors of game addiction in the gifted sample. Major findings. Research findings showed that there was no statistical difference between gifted and non-gifted students. Computer game addiction levels, after controlling for the gender, school type, and game type. However, there was a significant difference in addiction scores between males and female in the sample list controlling for the giftedness, school type, and game type. Finally, gender and daily playtime have been found to be significant predictors of the game addiction in gifted students. Recommendation. This study implied the need to develop prevention programs for the children to keep them from playing addictively and to help them to overcome the adverse consequences for the excessive computer gaming, making adults aware of the close relationship between playing time and addiction risk would give them some tools to monitor and limit their children's time spent of gaming.
Methodology. The research method used for this study and the analysis of the data gathered from the survey. Research design. This study will be based on survey research or questionnaires in which data will be collected for the objectives of this study. This research is based on the factors affecting the academic status of second-year students in ISU Kawayan City campus. The choice of the survey research is opposed to the following factors. The survey research provides a suitable instrument for collecting a large amount of data. Respondents of this study. The respondents of our study will be selected second-year IT students at ISU Kawayan. Data gathering tools. The researchers will use a questionnaire as the primary source of the data gathering tools. The questionnaire consisted of two parts. The first part dealt with the respondent's profile. These parts will consist of information about the respondents. And the second part is the factor affecting the academic status of IT students. Data gathering procedure. The researchers will ask a permission from the deans of the School of Information Technology for the conduct of this study. When the permission is granted, the researchers will administer the approved questionnaire through Google Forms because of the limitation in face-to-face gathering of data, and the researchers will gather the data. It will be tabulated and interpreted. Statistical treatment. The data gathered was analyzed through descriptive and inferential statistics. The profile of the respondents will be analyzed through descriptive statistics such as frequency and percentage, while factor influencing academic status will be analyzed using the mean. Lastly, to test if there is a significant relationship between the profile and the factors affecting the academic status of respondents, analysis of variance will be used.
Thank you for listening. We are the Group 12 from BSIT 2A, Cruz Efrain A, Fontanilla Gina May L, Zamora Abigail D.